Today, I want to talk about how Roaring Kitty may be buying more call options for the next leg up, the next sneeze, or the mother of all short squeezes. I also want to touch on why Aron has never spoken about synthetics or the squeeze, and with very good reason. So stay tuned and let's make some money. You can also currently get $100 off the price of the lifetime membership or 25% off the monthly membership with the mid-year sale at the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. Just use the code MIDYEAR, all in capitals, at checkout using the link in the description below. But now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, first, I want to talk about why Aron never speaks about synthetics, illegal short selling, or the mother of all short squeezes. He seems to avoid questions as to when AMC will squeeze, if he can do anything to make AMC squeeze, or exactly how many synthetics exist right now. So why is that? Many of the shills out there tell you that Aron is working with these hedge funds to get AMC's price lower, which to me makes no sense. The actual answer, as I've told you for a while now, is because Aron would be sued to the heavens if he spoke about AMC squeezing or tried to make AMC squeeze himself. And here's now a prime example. We can see the SEC has just charged Metamaterials, MMTLP, and the former CEO with market manipulation, fraud, and other violations. Now you may say, wow, that sounds like a lot. What has Metamaterials been doing to scam retail investors? What kind of fraud have they been pulling? Is this securities fraud? Has something sketchy been going on inside the company? Well, from reading this, it doesn't really seem like so, but it seems like the SEC is working with the shorts and with the hedge funds, which we've known for a while now. It says the complaint alleges the ex and current CEO told certain investors and consultants and hinted via social media that the dividend would force short sellers to exit their positions and trigger a short squeeze. That therefore gave investors a false impression of the value and the power of the dividend. While investors held or bought the stock, the company was cashing in by selling 137 million new shares at an at-the-market offering, saying the conduct we allege was a sophisticated yet brazen plan by a public company and its former CEOs to purposely mislead investors in the company's stock. It says Metamaterials was ordered to pay $1 million penalty, which was settled outside of court in an administrative proceeding, and the SEC is also litigating against the ex and current CEOs directly in federal district court. So again, we can see this article is telling us, plain and simple, the SEC sued the company and its CEOs for talking about a short squeeze. This is why Aron does not talk about a short squeeze publicly, because he does not want to be sued. He does not want AMC to pay millions, tens of millions, or hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties for just saying the words short squeeze in a public setting. And he doesn't want to face potential jail time for market manipulation, literally for just saying the words short squeeze. This is why Aron doesn't touch on synthetics or how he can create a short squeeze, because he doesn't want to go to jail. And it also shows us how much these shorts are working with the SEC to the point where they can literally sue companies for talking about squeezing shorts. Why do these hedge funds have that kind of power? Well, as you can see, the DTCC has just added executives from JP Morgan, UBS, the New York Stock Exchange, and Goldman Sachs to their board of directors. Regulatory agencies like the DTCC, like FINRA, and like the SEC are made up of current and ex-employees from these major institutions and big hedge funds. There's literally current employees of Citadel sitting on the board at the DTCC. And many ex-employees of these companies, including ex-employees of Citadel, currently work at the SEC. This is why these self-regulatory organizations don't really regulate the market makers, the banks, or the hedge funds. They're effectively regulating us. The hedge funds can commit any crimes they like, but as soon as a regular, everyday American commits a crime, the SEC bears down on them like a sack of bricks. I also wanted to go through today's trade on WENA that ran for a whopping 50%. You can see I told the group in the pre-market before the run happened that WENA had a brilliant move this morning and will continue. I've set my price alerts for the breakout of $3.39 ready to buy. You can see WENA then broke that $3.39 level, running all the way to $5.11 for a brilliant 50% gain. And you can see both Harhan and Dogman ended up capitalizing. Dogman made over $300 in just this one trade, and Harhan locked in a 43% gain. So guys, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group using the code MIDYEAR, all in capitals, at checkout, using the link in the description below. The reason why is because, as Kristen has tweeted, banks are currently over-leveraged and they're doing everything they can to make it seem like they're not. Mr. Hamilton said, what I've been seeing is the cockroaches are starting to come out and the general public does not have a sense of the severity of the current problem. He talks about many of these banks like Deutsche Bank selling off giant portions of their mortgage portfolios to other investors. Goldman Sachs and the Canadian lender CIBC have also been offloading their mortgage portfolios as well. And that's because many of these big banks and big hedge funds too are sitting on massive realised and unrealised losses. Obviously, this is something I've touched on before, but it just goes to show how over-leveraged the banks currently are and how stuck they currently are with these giant losses. This will ultimately lead to a black swan event, and Biotech Moose has done a great job of explaining a bit more about what a black swan event is and how that might actually look. So he said AMC and GameStop holders need to realise when a black swan event occurs, there will be an initial drop of 5 to 20% in the entire market and a continued drop over a few days continuing. Do I think the entire market's going to fall 75 to 80% plus? No, but I do see at least a 20, 30, maybe even a 40% drawdown during a black swan event. He said AMC, GameStop and other meme stocks and all stocks in the entire market will drop at first. The hedge funds will then start going ballistic across social media, screaming for everyone to sell, sell, sell. Sell their shares in AMC and GameStop because the price is dropping. They want longs to panic sell, to scoop up as many cheap shares as possible to close out of their shorts. Because when hedge funds start being margin called, the AMC and GameStop price will skyrocket, creating even more margin calls. And these hedge funds will be margin called during a dramatic downturn in a market caused by a black swan event. And when these hedge funds get margin called, they don't just have to sell off long positions that they're down on significantly, like longs in the Magnificent Seven, they also have to close out of short positions as well. That's what will then cause those heavily shorted stocks, like Volkswagen in 2008, like AMC and GameStop now, to experience a short squeeze. But let's also talk about how Howard Kitty has done some digging and has discovered that Roaring Kitty may be buying more call options. He said, boys, yesterday the $20 mark, the $20 call options, had been flooded with calls for the 19th of July. And he said the credit is originally going to Mojo Master 5, who pointed that out to him yesterday. He said we saw this back in May when Roaring Kitty bought into the $20 strikes 3 to 4 weeks beforehand, and many people did not catch on. That was actually something I discussed in previous videos because we saw those massive 20,000 orders for those $20 call options. But he said to keep an eye on the $20 call options today and tomorrow for the 19th of July, where we could see more buying. And he also confirmed this massive amount of calls for the 19th of July was brought in blocks, aka large order sizes. It will be very interesting to see when Roaring Kitty posts his next portfolio update, how many shares and how many call options he's now holding. Now, Chuck Hoddle has also tweeted saying, breaking news. The mainstream media has been telling you it's game over for GameStop and for AMC for 3+ years now. He said they haven't been right, Neither of these companies have gone bankrupt. They've only grown stronger year over year. And the reason why the mainstream media is telling you that it's game over is because the hedge funds made a bad bet. This is why we see these daily articles that no one pays attention to, because the hedge funds made a bad bet and they're desperately trying to escape. And finally, Ben Mezrich, the author of the book The Money, was recently on CNBC telling them to get rid of all short selling, saying that Korea recently banned short selling and look at their market because it's doing great.
You're out here, ban short. You're not even talking about naked short selling. You want to ban all short selling.
Yeah, I do. And listen, Korea just banned short selling, and look at it. It's doing wonderful.
Oh
Market's
God.
flying.
There has to be the other side of the trade.
There has to be
We will never
checks and balances.
ban short selling.
Well, we'll see. But anyways.
Now you're going to tell me about...
You can see that the speaker for CNBC was having an absolute panic attack at the thought of banning short selling. But as Ben Mezrich said, Korea have just banned short selling and their market is doing brilliantly as a result. So guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.